start building an adventure, it rarely comes to our mind as a complete story. Instead, we have one leading idea or a group of loosely connected ones. Those initial pieces of inspiration for your game are called story seeds. A story seed should be something you are excited to develop, because it will guide you through the process of story design. Maybe your initial inspiration is for a game where the players are kobolds that explore a dungeon and discover it's actually the corpse of the dragon god. Or maybe you want a spooky game with ghosts and a haunted manor. Your inspiration could be general or specific, big or small. The only thing that matters is whether or not you are interested in developing the idea. So really, there is no wrong place to start. Since you're here taking this course, there is a good chance you already have a story seed in mind. However, that won't always be the case. Sometimes you want to run a game, but won't have the slightest idea where to start. Coming up with a story seed can feel difficult at first because we're essentially searching for a spark of inspiration, and inspiration varies from person to person. Our goal in this course is to help you put your own story out there. So the spark has to come from you, but that doesn't mean we can't help. Creativity is a muscle, and there are many exercises we can use to get mentally buff. These exercises change the subject of our focus and narrow down the context in which we're developing our ideas. By limiting our options, we challenge the mind to be more creative. Narrowing the context we're working within is really important, because when the possibilities are endless, we tend to get lost. So when we're trying to generate ideas and inspiration, we should start by focusing on fewest subjects and expand from there. To do that, we are going to explore 3 inspirational workouts that you can practice: the creature feature, character connections, and inspiration boarding. The first method focuses on random creatures. Choose 2 monsters at random from a creature compendium, like the 5e monster manual, and try to tie both of them into one story. Let's do it together. I randomly chose a manticore and a fire elemental from the D&D 5th edition monster manual. What could be a connection between these two? You can pause the video and give it a try if you want. Here's my idea. Perhaps a manticore started terrorizing a local village and a wizard tried to slay it by summoning a fire elemental. But the wizard lost control and the elemental began to burn through the countryside. Now a group of adventurers is hired to stop the elemental before the fire consumes everything. The second method for story seed generation relies on player character backstories. If your players have already sent you characters, take one of their background stories and think of ways to tie its loose ends into a story. So if we have a paladin who lost his family to an evil necromancer, perhaps other nearby towns are similarly attacked, and the path of destruction can lead them to the necromancer's sanctum. When they finally arrive to face the dark mage, they have to fight an army of zombies, including the paladin's old family. The third method is called inspiration boarding. Open an artboard website like Pinterest, DeviantArt, or ArtStation and look for fantasy art or any other genre that excites you. Pick 3 pictures from the search result and try to weave together a story using them. How are they related to each other? What is the order in which they occur? I love using this method because when it works, I already have awesome art to show my players. A good practical tip here would be to maintain a Pinterest board for campaign inspiration. Pinterest's algorithm is amazing. So if you add several images to a single custom board, it will start suggesting similar images whenever you log in. And that really helps when you need that boost of visual inspiration. Okay, it's time to practice developing some story seeds. Find the story seeds section on the worksheet for this chapter and pick one of the methods we've discussed: creature feature, character connection, or inspiration boarding, and come up with one story seed. What excites you about the story seeds you came up with? Once you're done, jump into the next lesson where we will learn how to take that seed and develop it into a premise for your adventure.